Welcome to the Horror Unmasked podcast,
where we unmask the monsters
and explore the lore.
I'm Amber.
And I'm Lily, and today we'll be dissecting
Krampus.
Let's get lumpy, dumpy, and clumpy.
The first scene opens in a slow-mo montage of Christmas shoppers mauling each other and fighting over Christmas gifts, with no one in the Christmas spirit. We then see a grandma, aka Omi, baking cookies as the rest of her family comes home to get ready for more family guests. Max, the son, and Omi seem to be the only ones in the Christmas spirit, as the parents, Sarah and Tom, are agitated and stressed about the holidays.
While Beth, the daughter, is on the phone with her boyfriend, all of their cousins finally arrive. Linda, Sarah's sister, Howard, Linda's husband, and all of their kids, Howie Jr., Stevie, Jordan, and Chrissy, and finally, their Aunt Dorothy. The family greets each other at the door, and immediately tensions are high between everyone. The family sits down for dinner, and Tom and Howard begin to argue about guns before Dorothy and Linda start to criticize Sarah's cooking. Y'all could have stayed home then.
I know, right? If y'all don't like each other, just don't fucking celebrate together. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
When Sarah leaves to get dessert, Stevie and Jordan begin to harass Max about Santa, saying he crashed his sleigh, broke his legs, and had to eat his reindeer to survive. Tom tries to tell the girls to stop, but they pull out Max's letter to Santa instead and make fun of him for still believing. The girls then start to read Max's letter out loud, revealing the letter to actually be really heartfelt, wishing good things for the family instead of gifts.
What a sweet boy.
I know, right? And facts that those two girls who were reading it when they got to that part, hell yes, that's exactly what your dad is doing to you.
Oh yeah, he wishes you were boys so bad. Sarah comes back to the dining room with dessert when Max lunges across the table and attacks his cousins. Glass shatters and decorations get knocked over. When the fight stops, Max says he just wanted Christmas to go back to how it used to be and storms out of the room. Max's dad comes into his room to comfort him and try to explain why the family gets together every year, even if they don't like each other.
After what seems like a heartfelt talk, Tom tells Max there might still be time to drop his letter in the mail. But when his dad leaves, Max rips up his letter and throws it out the window in the cold, windy air. Immediately, a snowstorm creeps over the neighborhood, cutting the power and turning everything dark. The next morning, the snow outside is thick, and the power still doesn't work. But a random snowman has appeared in the front lawn.
Dun dun dun. Suddenly, there's a knock at the door, and a delivery man has a package. On the front porch, there are a few other packages that didn't come from the delivery man, but the family brings the boxes inside anyway. Dumb as shit.
So dumb.
Beth is concerned about her boyfriend and asks to walk to his house to check on him and see if anyone else has power. Sarah agrees to let Beth go for 1 hour, and she walks out into the storm.
Also so stupid.
Why, I would never let my child. Sorry.
No.
Sorry, sweetie, maybe when the storm's over.
Exactly.
I hope your boyfriend's okay, though. Meanwhile, Omi has lit the fireplace and has made hot cocoa for everyone.
Beth walks through the neighborhood streets, where the snow is thick and the wind is cold. Suddenly the sky goes dark and she sees a large hooded figure with horns on top of one of the houses. The creature growls and jumps to another roof and chases Beth. She stumbles upon a truck where the driver is frozen to death on the inside and decides to crawl under the truck to hide. The creature taunts her and disappears, leaving a small toy Jack-in-the-Box under the truck with Beth. The handle begins to spin and the box opens. When a small toy creature slowly pops out, the truck begins to shake as we hear Beth scream.
Back at the house, Tom and Sarah wait for their daughter and start to worry when Max comes downstairs and says it's dark out. Tom asks Howard if they can go in his truck to look for Beth, but Omi tries to warn the family against leaving. Tom and Howard go anyway and come up on a truck with a window smashed in. At the house, most of the family are gathered in the living room when they hear creaking noises coming from upstairs, then suddenly a loud crash, and choose to ignore the sound.
Tom and Howard finally make it to Beth's boyfriend's house, to find it empty and frozen over. When they enter the living room, they find a huge hole in the fireplace and large hoof prints. Tom thinks he hears Beth and chases after the screams, but Howard gets sucked into the snow as something bites into his leg. Tom takes a gun and shoots at whatever is holding Howard. The creature scurries away under the snow, and the guys try to get back to the truck to find it crushed and on fire.
Sarah is scared and goes to look for Tom and Howard, but as she's about to leave, the guys burst back into the house. They decide not to tell the family what has happened, as they take care of Howard's leg and send the kids into the kitchen with Aunt Dorothy. Tom also sends Omi in there, but before she leaves, she warns him to keep the fire hot. Max eavesdrops on the parents, who are still in the living room, discussing how they couldn't find Beth. Sarah wants to keep looking, but Howard tries to tell her it's too cold and too dangerous.
The family decides to stay put, board up the doors and windows, and camp out in the living room until the storm dies down. Everyone falls asleep. The batteries die in the iPad, and the fireplace stops burning. The air goes cold as we hear something coming down the chimney. Suddenly, a chain with a gingerbread man attached to it comes down, and Howie Jr. wakes up to see the cookie, just hanging there, waiting to be eaten. Howie grabs the cookie and takes a bite when the gingerbread man comes to life and wraps Howie up in the chains and pulls him up through the chimney.
Sarah tries to grab Howie, but also gets pulled up, kicking a hot log onto the tree with all of the presents, setting it on fire. The rest of the family tries to grab Sarah to help her get Howie, while Sarah sees one of the gingerbread men and accidentally lets go of Howie, causing him to get taken. The whole house is panicked, with now 2 children missing, when Omi starts to tell them a story from her childhood.
In a very beautiful stop-motion flashback, a young Omi witnesses her town turn against each other on Christmas and lose the Christmas spirit. With her family also turning on each other, Omi threw her Santa doll in the fire and wishes for her family to go away. That same night, an ancient spirit called Krampus came to punish the town with his helpers. Krampus took everyone to the underworld, leaving Omi behind as a reminder of what happens when the Christmas spirit dies, and she is given a bell with his name.
Howard thinks Omi is crazy and goes to leave with his gun while the rest of the family tries to convince him to stay. When Howard steps outside, there are many more snowmen in front of the lawn, with small creatures giggling and hiding behind them. The family quickly goes back inside and decides to stay and keep the fire hot. They all start to settle back in as Linda is in Beth's room, going through the pile of burned presents to sort out the salvageable ones. All of a sudden, she starts to hear a popping noise coming from one of the boxes when Sarah comes in and asks her to meet in the kitchen.
The group devises a plan to get to safety when we see the boxes in Beth's room start to go crazy, laughing and rattling. Max is in the living room with Omi, looking out the window with binoculars, when he sees a hooded figure with horns sitting outside. Jordan and Stevie are wandering through the house when they hear Beth's voice coming from upstairs and goes to investigate. The group downstairs hears their screams, and Tom, Linda, and Sarah go upstairs to help. Howard hears something in the kitchen and tries to call his dog, Rosie, to help, but she runs away, leaving him by himself.
Back in Beth's room, everything is frozen over, and the boxes of toys are ripped open. Howard is still investigating the kitchen when he hears something start laughing. Upstairs, the group discovers the Jack-in-the-Box, which has become a very large creature, swallowing Jordan whole. Tom starts to shoot at it when it slinks away. As Howard hears the gunshots and the screams coming from upstairs, He is shot in the leg many times with a nail gun by many small gingerbread men.
Sarah is then attacked by a very creepy Christmas angel. While trying to help her, Linda is attacked by a stuffed bear. Downstairs, the gingerbread men run out of the nails, and Howard is able to shoot one of the lanterns, causing it to explode and light the gingerbread men on fire. Upstairs, more toys come to life and attack Tom, while the Jack-in-the-Box tries to escape through the air vents. Howard continues to shoot the gingerbread men dead. When the last one is about to stab him with a candy cane, Rosie eats the cookie man in midair, saving Howard.
The Christmas angel manages to grab some Christmas lights, wrap it around Sarah's neck, and hang her from the ceiling. Before the Jack-in-the-Box can escape with Jordan, Linda sees Stevie unconscious on the ground. She then grabs an axe, cuts Sarah down, smashes the toy that was attacking Tom, and tries to smash the box before it went through the vent. But she was too late. The box got Jordan and slinked down the vent.
The group hears Max yelling from downstairs and goes back down to see if everyone else is okay. The family hears the box crawling through the ceiling and in the vents and decides to let Rosie investigate. The ceiling begins to crack and the box falls through, along with the Christmas angel and the stuffed bear. Dorothy grabs the gun and shoots the bear and then the angel. Spoiler warning, skip ahead.
The group thinks it's almost over when Dorothy goes to shoot the Jack-in-the-Box. But before she can, elves burst through the living room window, gathering the family into the corner. The elves take baby Chrissy, Aunt Dorothy, and Howard before jumping back out the window and leaving the rest of the family alone. The family members that are left decide to bundle up and make their escape, but Omi stays behind to face Krampus herself. Omi goes back to the living room, where the fire has died. Suddenly, a large crack comes down from the fireplace, and Krampus crawls out. He stands, towering over Omi, when he opens up his sack and reveals all of his cursed toys.
The rest of the family trudge through the thick snow to try and escape. When they finally see the light of a truck, something under the snow comes barreling at them, but Tom is able to shoot at it and scare it away. Tom tells his family to go on while he stays behind to stall the monster, sacrificing himself. Sarah puts Max in the car while Linda gets taken by the creature under the snow. Sarah puts Stevie in the car and is then also taken. Only Stevie and Max are left.
Max tries to start the truck, but it won't work. Krampus's elves surround the truck, breaking in and stealing Stevie, pulling her down under the snow. The elves also get pulled under, causing Max to get out of the car and look for Stevie. Suddenly, Krampus jumps down in front of Max, dropping a ball of crumpled, ripped-up paper in front of him. Max picks it up and unravels it, revealing it to be his unsent letter to Santa, and a bell with the name Krampus on it. When Max looks back up, Krampus is gone.
Max walks alone in the snow when he stumbles upon Krampus and his cursed toys, holding Stevie hostage. Max screams at Krampus, saying he takes his wish back, and throws the bell at his feet. The bell sinks into the snow, and the earth opens into a large, fiery pit. Max threatens Krampus with a metal rod, while the elves go to throw Stevie into the pit. Realizing the Krampus isn't backing down, Max pleads to let Krampus take him and give his family back. Krampus wipes away one of Max's tears, seeming like he's about to give in, but ends up throwing both Stevie and Max into the pit.
The scene shifts to a nice winter day as Max seems to wake up from a terrible nightmare. Max looks at his advent calendar to find that it is now Christmas Day. He runs downstairs to find his whole family alive and well, celebrating like nothing ever happened. The family begins to open presents and everyone is happy. But when Max opens his present, the bell from Krampus is resting inside. Max picks up the bell and everyone begins to exchange looks, remembering the awful events that led to everyone's demise. The scene fades out, revealing the house to be inside a small snow globe that Krampus has placed amongst many others, filled with families that he has captured.
The end. Definitely an interesting film.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. Not bad, but also not like...
It's not my favorite.
No, but it's not like... But like, if I had the choice to like, you want to watch Krampus? I'd be like, yeah, fuck it, sure. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only in like Christmas time though.
Yeah.
Personally. Or in like the month of November between Halloween and Christmas, you know, because it's kind of both.
Yeah. Alrighty, so this film was released December 4th, 2015. The director is Michael Dougherty. The budget was $15 million.
That's a lot. That's a hefty price.
And the box office was even thicker
Yeah.
because it was $61.5 million.
The runtime is about 98 minutes. It got a 66 on Rotten Tomatoes. And the production company is Legendary Entertainment.
And distributed by Universal Pictures.
Yes. The frosty Universal that came.
Yeah.
Apparently it had a house in like 2016. And I went that year, but I don't remember that. But I was also like 14. So
Yeah.
that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, our main actors, we have MJ Anthony as Max Engel, Toni Collette as Sarah Engel, Adam Scott as Tom Engel. We have Allison Tolman as Linda, David Koechner as Howard, Krista Stadler as Omi, and then Luke Hawker as Krampus.
Yeah.
Yes.
This film was both easy for you to find notes and very difficult for me to find notes.
Yeah, I got, because lore on Krampus is pretty thick, so.
And the special effects is very specific because honestly, you only get the special effects in the very, very latter half of the film. The most part of it is just, the set.
Yeah.
Which was not very,
because there's not
varied.
Right, and there's not a whole lot of, it's one house.
Yeah.
It's a house.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of Krampus's, his
and
layer.
like the street, like they got like there was a little bit, but it wasn't like the majority of it was taking place inside the house.
Yeah, I mean all of his cursed toys and his elves were cool.
Oh yeah, they were very cool. Yeah, because it was filmed in New Zealand.
Yeah,
it was filmed in Wellington at Stone Street Studios, and it had the pleasure of having Weta Workshop and Weta Digital, which is a really prolific studio. They've worked on so many things, props, all sorts of stuff. You'll recognize it just because of like Lord of the Rings. They did a lot with that. And then this one's wild because so Krampus, it takes its cue from the fun and festive 1980s Fight Fest, like Gremlins.
Oh.
With puppetry, animatronics, and a cavalcade of other practical effects taking the center stage for it.
The only CGI the gingerbread man.
And they had a couple other CGI moments, but it was mainly straight up practical effects.
I love that.
So the crew at Weta Workshop, they took on the task and they were really excited to work on it. They provided the physical makeup effects, the special costumes, props, the creatures. They helped to design, refine, and handle the complete manufacturing of items, including Krampus's ornate 21-foot-long sleigh. 21-foot-long sleigh, festooned with bells, chains, and human remains.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. I thought they were really slick with making that rhyme.
Yeah, that is pretty.
Bells, chains, and human remains. They also helped to craft and manufacture obviously the creatures, which were honestly really, really fucked up and uncomfortable to look at.
Yeah. I'll agree with that.
They had obviously the dark Christmas elves, the gingerbread and snowman, the teddy bear with the beastly fangs, the cherub, who is, the demonic
Christmas angel.
Yeah. And then that fucked up Jack in the Box.
I think the Jack in the Box was like the worst one.
Oh, yeah. The Jack in the Box was unpleasant.
I would not want to be eaten by that thing.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
take myself out first if I saw it coming at me.
Exactly. And obviously Krampus himself was also part of their handiwork. The whole outfit was really, really cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool because it's the idea that Krampus is Saint Nicholas's shadow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was large enough to end up becoming its own creature, as essentially being his altered ego, alter existence. And it actually is really funny because it was Luke Hawker is one of Weta Workshop's technicians who ended up becoming Krampus for it.
Wow.
Because he's a 7 foot tall demon.
So how tall is our Mr. Hawker?
And here's the thing. Legs, arms, and finger extensions under the suit that weighed over half of his body weight.
Wow.
And he was only seeing the world through nothing more than a tiny camera hidden in the head. It created some hurdles in terms of performance and balance, but they had a stunt team that were supporting him and making it easier for him to be able to actually like work with the suit that he was in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have a whole lot of screen time.
No, I feel like the only real times that you probably got that were towards that end, like Omi and after.
Yeah, like when Max is trying to speak to him.
Because the outdoor sequence with the abandoned frozen house and everything, an empty street, that was a really cool shot because obviously it's the idea of like the isolation and the anxiety of what's going on. And then I also was looking it up because Michael, when he was originally coming up with like the concepts for Krampus, he was drawing like sketches and stuff. And it was later revealed that like Krampus's face is like a skin mask.
Yes, I did read about that.
It's a skin mask because, you know, you don't see what's actually underneath that.
Yeah, so you don't really know, but...
Oh, yeah.
Which is why I was kind of surprised when I saw the face, because I wasn't really expecting it to be human-like.
It literally looks like as if he cut Santa's face off and put it on himself.
Put it on his face, yeah.
Yeah. It's real fucked up.
Uh-huh.
Because they had, obviously, it's referred to as the hybrid approach. So you get as much as you can in camera with the practical effects, and then you use your computers and stuff like that for the digital stuff as necessary. Because they did use, like, obviously they used a lot of digital. You use it to get rid of the rods, the wires, the puppeteers from the shots, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Some of the creatures were digital, like the gingerbread men. They're digital, but they wanted it to feel like stop motion at the same time. They didn't want it to be too much CGI. And then... the backstory sequence that we got from Omi is meant to look like an old-fashioned animator did it.
I loved it.
I think it was a really, really beautiful scene. Because it's all about the end result and the texture and the practical creatures, especially when it comes to the glistening slime quality. Mm-hmm. Because you just don't get that from CGI.
No.
And it depends on like what kind of creatures you want to do.
You can always tell the difference between practical effects and CGI.
Always.
Just because there's always that level of like realness that you can't capture.
You can't capture. There's a texture to reality that just can't be captured.
Yeah.
And you know, like obviously the toys, when they were coming to life attacking people, they didn't want it to be CGI. They didn't want it to be like a stick that they were playing up against. So they wanted there was more response and action. Mm-hmm. When they wanted it to fight a doll, they should be fighting a doll.
Yes.
So, you know, but the gingerbread men, just because of size and the situation that they were doing, because they never physically interacted with the actor, it was easier to do it that way. And then this is the wild thing about the creatures. So the Jack-in-the-Box, the teddy bear, and the cherub and everything. They would not let the actors see the creatures.
Why not? So that they would have like an actual like real life reaction.
They didn't want them to see them as they were being built. They were kept in their own special little tent until they were needed on set. Mm-hmm. So the actors, when they saw them, when they were rolling, that was their
genuine reaction.
Literal the very first time they've ever seen the creature.
Oh, wow.
And so their screams, the panic is real.
Wow. That's pretty cool. I love it when people do it that way.
Yeah, I thought that was really fascinating.
It helps the actors out a lot. I mean, obviously you're actors and you should be able to, you know, recreate scare, but it's just, it feels more genuine.
It's nice to have that, it's the combination of the physical and then an unknown.
Yeah.
And that mystery to it. And then it's just, they had 9 or 10 different monsters in the movie in addition to Krampus. They thought about it as the idea of, because Santa has his elves and his reindeers and his magic toys. So they thought like, well, if he's the alter side of Krampus, obviously he would have the same things, just darker and eviler and more mischievous.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The effects were really good, though. They were very good. I enjoyed those a lot. They were
very
interesting.
Spooky, very creepy. A good twist on things that are supposed to be sweet and nice.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I won't get over, like, the shine of the slime of the Jack-in-the-Box.
Nope. When it opened its face.
Yeah.
And its whole bottom jaw is part of its mouth.
Ugh.
No, thank you.
Nope. Yeah, but I got some interesting lore
on
information.
Krampus. Yeah, go for it.
So Krampus dates back to the 12th century.
Mm-hmm.
He originated in like German traditions.
Yeah.
Or Austria.
Yeah.
So it's obviously a thing for kids, like most things are.
Yeah.
If you're bad, then Krampus will come and punish you, or maybe even abduct you and take you to hell.
Honestly.
So
some really messed up fucking Christmas creatures, I swear to God.
Yeah. Krampus wasn't really well known until like pretty recently in America.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that later. But so basically Krampus is kind of representative of like a Greek satyr. So he's half man, half goat. Usually has dark hair, fangs, and like a really long tongue.
Yeah.
So it actually originates from the pagan winter solstice traditions that were merged with Christian traditions.
Yeah.
So it was just like a merging of the two, and that's kind of where it came from, I guess.
Yeah.
But the legend goes Krampus comes to town the night before St. Nicholas Day. So children would leave their shoes out, like, in front of their house.
Yeah.
And usually on St. Nicholas Day, they would wake up to find, like, treats and goodies in their shoes if they were good.
Their presents and shit.
But if they were bad, then they would find, like, rods in their shoes if they were bad. That would be a warning to the kids. Like,
the rods were a warning.
The rods were a warning. Like, hey, if you don't
get better by next time,
then you will literally disappear. You're going to be next.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
this rod is a warning.
Yeah. So it doesn't mean you're going to get taken, but it's like there are levels. So you either get really good treats and sweets and things, you get a rod in your shoe to warn you if you're bad, taken. Or you get got.
You get got, guys.
Yeah. So there's that. But
makes me think about the sentiment of spare the rod.
Yeah.
And it's like, so the rod is like, hey, I'm going to kidnap you and take you to my domain if you don't shape up and get better.
You know what? I just thought, like, imagine, because obviously these things aren't real, but I'm just imagining, like, children putting their shoes out and then parents, like, putting rods in their kids' shoes.
Yep.
And, like, scaring the fuck out of their kids.
Hell yeah.
Whew, you must have been a pretty bad child.
I know, right?
Anyway, so on that night of, like, the night before St. Nicholas Day, Krampus, like, runs around and swats wicked children with birch sticks.
Yep.
Puts them in his sack and then abducts them. To the underworld. So
you fucked up. Now you're coming with me.
Yep. Another tradition. Okay, so Krampus night is like Krampusnacht.
Krampusnacht.
That is the night before St. Nicholas's Day. Yep. And then there's there's another tradition called Krampuslauf, which is also known as Krampus Run.
Oh, dude, I want to go to this so bad. You have no fucking idea. I've seen videos of it.
Nuts. It sounds nuts. So Krampus Run is another way to scare the kids. So this is where grown men get drunk off their ass, dress up as Krampus, and then run through the streets.
Hell yeah. It's a fucking spectacle. I've seen videos of people, because they still do this to this day.
It's so funny.
There's fucking events
in
Germany that people will gather on the streets for Krampusnacht, for the run, And it's just a bunch of fucking people dressed like Krampus
It's
with
like-
bells and whips. And they fuck with like the adults, the kids, the everybody. They just
Yep.
go around and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. It's wild
I
to
had
see.
no idea this was a thing. So when I was doing this research, I was like laughing out loud. Like, are you serious?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Grown men get drunk, dress as Krampus, and then run around?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. They run around and fuck with people.
That is crazy. It's so funny. So they also have these things called Krampus Karten, which are Krampus greeting cards. So it's like these cards that have pictures of Krampus on them, and it's like usually him like abducting kids or like
Oh, yeah.
fucking with them.
I've seen those.
And sometimes and they like say greetings from Krampus, and it's usually pretty creepy. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Krampus like stuffing kids into bags or
It's like a demonic creature stealing
sneaking up on
children.
kids or hitting them with the sticks.
I mean, shit, there was a Christmas bag that I got that my mom intentionally bought me last year
Yeah.
that had one side was Santa and the other side was like a Krampus.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the Krampus. I think it looked great.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So there are these greeting cards, but the greeting cards are how America really found out about Krampus
Yes.
because we didn't really know much about
Wasn't our
that
tradition.
until like 2004 when this graphic designer Monte Beauchamp. I'm gonna say Beauchamp. Monte
Beauchamp, because it sounds
It's-
less white
yeah.
than the other version.
Beauchamp.
Beauchamp.
Monty Beauchamp. No, I'm gonna say Mont Beauchamp, who published a book of the cards, and made
Like
an art
illustrated
show.
book. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
made an art show inspired by them.
That's awesome.
So that's how we learned as a society about Krampus.
Wow. It's crazy because it's not that long ago.
No, not at all. And this has been around since the 12th century. So like, how was this like?
I feel like, okay, I think that there's a difference. I think it's the mass media, like the mass society of America
Yeah.
found out
Mhm.
because I definitely like remember knowing about Krampus.
When you were like 9?
Yeah, because the thing is like my mom's an ancient aliens lady and she's like,
That's
we
fair.
love like history and myths and legends from other
I'm
things.
sure people in America knew, but I don't think.
Not the majority.
Yeah.
Like it has to be the people who knew about it were people who were into like history and lore from other places in the world. So
Yeah.
I think that's why I was like, I knew it before that point. But
Mhm.
also you have to think like my family's German heritage. Like obviously I'm probably going to end up hearing about Krampus in combination with Santa. It's the same concept, you know.
I
Shit,
mean-
my dad lived in Germany for a while when he was a kid. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's
I
true.
mean,
That's
it
true.
makes sense why I would know about it too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't ever really remember not knowing about him. But at the same time, this is 2004 when it like really blew up over here.
And you
And
were
I was-
just a babas.
a baby.
You were a babas.
Yes, I was. So, yeah, I'm sure people knew, just not to the extent they do
Yeah.
now.
Now he's like an icon of Christmas.
Yeah. I don't ever remember not knowing about him.
Yeah. You kind of got to grow up in the stage of like he's a prevalent figure. He's
Yeah.
on cards. He's
Especially,
on merch.
you know, since our family, the whole German thing and the whole pagan thing and
Exactly.
all of that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's like pretty much the lore of Krampus. It's not a whole lot, but I'm sure you could find so much more.
But it's pretty cool.
It is. And now I just have more stuff on like the movie itself.
Yeah, go for it.
There's like some Easter eggs. So you know the advent calendar that Max has
Yes.
that he opens on Christmas morning? Apparently that was passed down from Omi because in the flashback of hers,
Yeah.
in the animated one, like she has the same advent calendar. So it
Oh.
was like a little family heirloom. So I thought that was pretty cool. Also, in Krampus, there's a reference to Michael Dougherty's Seasoned Greetings when, you know, they're watching TV right before the rest of the family gets home.
Yeah.
When Tom changes the channel, it starts playing Season's Greetings. So you get to
Oh.
see a little snippet of Sam
Oh,
from Trick or Treat.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I totally didn't even realize
I
that.
didn't either. So it's him. He's a lonely trick-or-treater looking for some candy.
Oh.
And then he's just walking in the street. So I liked how he incorporated his his stuff into this.
Yeah.
So the neighborhood, because they only filmed like the close-up shots like on the set or whatever.
Yeah.
They could basically build their own neighborhood.
Yeah.
With CGI. And so Dougherty like put the Amityville house, the Amityville horror house, like as their next door neighbors. So that was pretty cool. Also, they have the Michael Myers house and even Ferris Bueller's house.
That's so funny. I love that. That they just like,
yeah, they were
we're
just like,
gonna
yeah.
CGI some shit in.
Like it's
and
gonna
just,
be
like,
a
let you
horror
catch that.
neighborhood is what this is gonna be.
This is literally the, you know, a nightmare street.
Actually, yeah. And then at the very, very end, when with all the snow globes, they also have in one of the snow globes you see Norman Bates from Psycho.
Oh,
just in one of them.
For real? Holy
Yeah.
Wait, like
Just in it.
the person or the house?
No, the person.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, like he captured him in the snow globe and is just like
Whoa.
watching him. Yeah. Oh wait, no. Home. It's his home. It's his home.
His house?
It's his home. Yeah, the home of Norman Bates.
That's so crazy.
So obviously this just means he's in there though, like, cause
that's wild.
yeah.
That's wild.
So there's just so many things. You got Norman Bates' house, you got Amityville Horror House, you got Michael Myers' house, and then a little happy one, Ferris Bueller.
Yeah. Got to sprinkle a little bit of something else.
A little bit of something, a little something. So like Max had a figure of Jaeger from Pacific Rim,
Oh.
like on his desk,
Huh.
and then he had like a bunch of Rick and Morty poster things.
Yeah.
And he also had like Minecraft merch and stuff, you know, like typical teenage boy things. So I love all that, you know I do. But other than that, there's not a whole lot.
Nope.
No.
Nope. So you want to throw some 1-star reviews at me?
I will absolutely throw some 1-star reviews at you. Starting with Krampus was the most bogus movie I almost watched. Designed with the intention of promoting the Western deceitful myth of Santa Claus. Really, instead of going around creating these idiotic, devilish movies, why don't these so-called renowned USA producers create Jesus films? Since it's his birthday, we celebrate in the first place. Personally, I consider such movies harboring racist intents to continue slavery ideologies of these DCs. Anyway, who really am I to talk? Since after all, I have no experience in these movie producing and directing, but overall, what a puke of a movie. And interestingly, it won many bogus awards. Useless, really useless.
What the fuck is that review? What the fuck did you just read? I'm sorry.
Believe me, I was asking myself the exact same thing when I was done.
I'm just like
the first time.
You sound like are you not from America?
I have
Is it
no
the way
idea.
that you're talking about it?
Is that bogus twice? I don't know what he's talking
puke
about.
of a movie.
Puke of a movie. I'm
What
a
the
little
actual
confused. Like
shit?
I added this because he completely lost me when he started saying creating idiotic devilish movies and like creating Jesus films.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like how? Like I'm sorry.
And then it really got me when he said harboring racist intents to continue slavery ideologies.
I'm sorry.
What are you saying right now?
It's like he watched 6 movies and thought he could just like mash them all into one.
I have no idea. Like, I have no clue where this person got
No fucking idea.
these ideas from. Like, if you can decipher what he's saying, please, by all means,
Fucking send us an email.
Send
because
us an
we're
email.
Fucking confused
because I'm lost. Or if you wrote this, please let us know what you were trying to say because I can't figure it out.
It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
Nope. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
That's such a fucking
Jesus film. Since it's his birthday, we celebrate in the first place? There's a question mark at the end of that.
I swear to God.
I don't know. It's like they keyboard smashed or like they kept hitting the
This is that like
the
these are
fill
like
in the blank.
We get it. You're Christian. Chill the fuck out, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the
Hey, at least they're against slavery.
yeah, I'm fine with that. But like, also, where did he get that from in this movie?
I don't know.
And it's just
Maybe it's the idea of like, oh, the family
did nothing. Nope.
they were captured by Krampus at the end and like
Uh-huh.
were
being punished for being bad for Christmas.
but I don't see the slavery part
That's
unless
not
you want to
slavery.
think about his cursed toys and his elves.
Yeah, but they work with him to fuck shit up.
Yeah, so I
They're
don't know.
employees.
Like, I think they enjoy their
They
jobs.
enjoy their
They
jobs.
really seem like they enjoy their
They
jobs.
were having fun.
So,
I don't know. That review is just like,
I think it's the most bogus and useless, really useless one that we've come across. All right, next. I can't think about it too much longer. Next one says, next time, try harder. 100 years of tradition destroyed in 1.5 hours. Congrats, USA. You did it again. Exclamation point.
you just sound bitter about something that we don't know what you're bitter about. Because you said we did it again. What did we do the first time?
That's what I'm saying. They kept going with their review, but it was literally just like explaining how they fucked with the
lore of
Krampus. And
yeah, but it's a fucking movie,
right,
dude.
Yeah,
There's a million movies on every fucking creature that's ever existed.
Yeah.
Find one that you like better and chill out.
yeah. I don't know. He sounds
He sounds a little butthurt.
but I don't get it because Krampus is bad. So why do you want that tradition to
Persist.
Yeah, because
He fucking kidnaps people.
yeah, and sticks rods in their shoes. I don't think that you want that to be an actual tradition.
No.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it stuck to it pretty good, you know.
Like the rods isn't bad,
No.
but like the kidnapping of children is a problem.
They stuck with that
yeah, they did.
because
They took that whole fucking
the
family.
whole family. So, I think they stuck to it pretty well.
Including a fucking Oma.
Yeah.
Who was the
Including
original
yeah.
one who survived Krampus the first time.
Yeah. Krampus don't give a fuck. You don't discriminate.
He'll take his own people that he already let survive.
Yep. Anyway, congrats, USA. We did it again. This next one
Uh-huh.
is really long.
Go for
I
it.
don't know if I should even read the whole thing. Are you ready?
Yep.
I came into this movie expecting a horror comedy. This movie was neither funny nor scary whatsoever. Actually, the worst movie I've seen to date. Don't waste your money buying a ticket to this trash movie. I came into this movie expecting a horror comedy. This movie was neither funny nor scary whatsoever. Actually, the worst movie I've seen to date. Don't waste your money buying a ticket to this trash movie. I came into this movie expecting a horror comedy. This movie was neither funny nor scary whatsoever. Actually, the worst movie I've seen to date. Don't waste your money buying a ticket to this trash movie. I came into this movie expecting a
How
horror
many more
comedy.
times do they write? They copy and paste.
They copy and pasted it 8 times.
The fuck? Why? One time, guys. One time. One time's all you need.
Like, I don't know if it was to bulk up their, like...
I don't know. That's such a waste.
Because I know some people who write reviews, like, get rewards for them or something. Like, if people find it helpful or if you write a certain amount or, like, whatever. So I'm wondering if maybe it was like a... Here, I'm writing an essay. Let me copy paste if to reach a word count, and then I'm gonna like
Erase it and make it white.
yeah.
Yeah. It's so dumb.
I don't know, but I was sitting there like, I'm like reading it, and I was like, wait a minute,
It's the same fucking thing.
it's the
over
same
and
thing over and over and over and
again.
over and over and over and over and over and over.
Why?
I don't know. I want these people to actually email us and explain. I need to know.
Why? Here's the thing. If you didn't like it so much, why the fuck would you waste your time doing that?
Yeah.
I don't care if you're trying to get some weird thing. Like, people.
I don't know.
People.
But that's okay. Useless. Really useless.
Yep.
Bogus even. So, but yeah, that was the last one I had. I could not bother to look for any more because...
The drivel was driveling.
Yes.
The drivel was driveling.
Very much so. But yeah. But that was Krampus, everybody. Don't be bad or he will come for you.
He will come for you.
He'll put some rods in your shoes. And then he'll beat you with some sticks.
Yes, he will.
And then stuff you in his bag and take you to his lair.
Yes, he will. That is the plan.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all she wrote.
Well, next week, just letting
Is
y'all
our
know,
final.
for the year,
Yeah.
our session 7, which will be our little wrap up of everything so far.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, it's wild.
And then we're going to be taking a small break.
But we'll get into that into the session 7 stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what to do, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, ding bells, and all that kind of stuff. Send us an email at horrorunmasked@gmail.com. Follow us at Instagram and Twitter at Horror Unmasked. Listen on Spotify, iTunes at Horror Unmasked Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube at Horror Unmasked Podcast. And I think with that,
There's only one thing left to ask. Will you fear?
or will you fear not?